Another one of those classes, I think really high quality type of class with a lot of depth. And I think pigs that all have some pieces, but they all have an area or two that we'd like to change as well. So it makes it kind of difficult, and it just comes down to personal preference on which one you land on and which one you prefer. I guess for me, there's one that I think has a lot of the unique pieces we're looking for, one that's really opened up in terms of their skeleton, tall at the point of the shoulder, really has that extension, and yet one that is super just big in terms of their feet and legs. The young man with the narrow belted bill out in the middle will be your class winner. I think, as I mentioned, the front two-thirds of that hog are extremely good. I guess for me, where I question him, and is he good enough there, is out of his rear leg. I'd sure like him to get out, take another gear, and grab more surface as he plants down and dries, but I think he has just enough of the outlier pieces to go ahead and feel comfortable using. The young lady's wide belted barrel will be second in this particular class. A barrel that I like, again, the front two-thirds of that one, where you'd like to change that one too, is in his rear leg, but from a different standpoint, he almost has too much set where he wants to get up underneath himself at times, and I think that kind of works against his detriment. As you study him in his ham-loin junction, he wants to pinch there ever so slightly. From there, we're going to use the young man's kind of painted up barrel right here. One that I think follows suit and type of kind of the barrels ahead of him. I think as you study him, though, of the four that we had out here, he's the narrowest in terms of his skeleton, just not pulled apart enough in terms of his rib design. The barrel I'm going to land on here in fourth might be the most complete barrel within the drive, but I think with that comes the fact he's also the plainest. When you study him through his front third, he gets really plain. He's the plainest in terms of his muscle shape, but I think when you put a combination of just structure and balance, that one does it extremely well. Another painted up barrel here you like some pieces about him is you study this one from the back side of his blade back out to his pin set. That is the stoutest barrel within this drive. For me, though, as you study him, he's the most off in terms of the structure on both ends of his skeleton of the top end. The solid black barrel coming next. Here's one that I like in terms of his freshness and top shape. The one that I think reads good in terms of his angles. Is a couple of the barrels ahead of him. That one gets pretty plain up to his front third, just not opened up enough in terms of his forerib shape and that center body shape. The big cheetah barrel. His forerib shape and that center body shape. The big cheetah barrel coming next. Another highly presented, highly fed on barrel. I like it. Add something to foot though. Skeleton. The product is Q2 is too straight off both ends of the skeleton. The blue barrel comes in. He's a little staler in terms of his top shape and his in terms of his top shape and his shine. Slightly, maybe a notch longer bodied as well. Slightly, maybe a notch longer bodied as well. The barrel coming next, here's one that was really good in terms of just his overall flexibility and angles of the skeleton. One that I like from a balance perspective. As you get in front and behind that barrel, he's too narrow, not enough true muscle shape in him. And then we round out the class with a really carcass-driven type of a barrel. For me, one that's just too jammed up in terms of the skeleton. We need to stretch him out and free him up from a movement standpoint.
The winners of the individual market class, show class 2, is Braden Steer with first place from the Coldwater Gate City Gophers. Second place went to Lily Sterling of the Albion Dandy Peasants. Now entering the ring is individual market barrel show class 3. Our participants are Niall Epley of the Jackson Lucky Clovers, Sam Jansen of the Monroe Clever Clovers, Jackson Neiman of the Jackson Lucky Clovers, Brooke Neiman of the Coldwater Gate Busy Gophers, Braden Steer of the Coldwater Gate Busy Gophers, Brennan Steer of the Coldwater Gate Busy Gophers, Emma Weddicky of the Jackson Lucky Clovers, Addison Williamson of the Albion Dandy Dozen. Addison Williamson has the second exhibit as well from the Albion Dandy Dozen, and Aubrey Williamson from the Albion Dandy Dozen. Market barrels in this class weigh between 261.8 pounds to 277.5 pounds. This is the first call for individual market barrel show class 4. You may start making your way to the arena. This is the first call for individual market barrel show class 4. Second call for individual market barrel show class 4 to start making their way to the arena. Individual market barrel class 4.
the rest of what's there is closed. They got it. They got the whole thing. You know what you pretend. As long as they don't fight. That's the only thing.
In our there's 3 or 4 in this class that a person features high-ended. Once again, today it's just my personal preference. I think there's just minute differences as we start studying these top 2 or 3 out here and what you can do and which way you like them. I guess I've always been one to think, which one just hits you the hardest and suits you the best. I think with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and use the narrow velvet barrel in front of me. Taking nothing away from the second player, I just want to be just a notch further as you study and more extended out the front third, with the barrel, and study him out of his rear leg. Once you get out, your flaps and rear and grab your I think this is a very, very intriguing barrel. For second, I'm going to use the other young man's velvet barrel out here. One that I think is a good comparison. You could argue that he's not shorter body. Our class winner just backing up in terms of his bone work, but I just feel like that one just a little more pointer up through his front third, maybe just not quite as athletic on his rear too. Really great outline, red barrel here, one that you like from the side in terms of the tight at the front of the shoulder, his flexibility, his overall look. Here's one that you get right up on top of him. I just don't know if he has enough in terms of his forehead shape and his upper rib curvature. He just wants to get really narrow there and flat. If we can just fill him out there so slightly, I think he makes a run towards the top of the class. The barrel coming next, here's one you just really have to appreciate for how fresh this barrel is. Another one that's just a great outline in terms of his structure and skeletal design. One I like in terms of the seat leg. Here's the barrel though, that as you study him compared to the 3 ahead of it, he gets narrow in terms of he goes to the ground, he comes to his taper from the top side of his skeleton down. We just need to pull him apart to his lower third. The barrel coming next is one that's really massive in the way he's built. I like all those things about him. I like his rear design probably better than the 2 barrels that beat him in his class. His overall look. Really great looking, high quality one coming next. I like this one in terms of just his overall build and the look he gives you. Here's one too though that you get right up on top of it. He's a little too harsh for me in terms of his rib design for me to get him up any higher. Solid black barrel coming next. One that's probably better in terms of his mid-thirds than the barrel that preceded it. One that's really big in terms of his backside. With all that power, though, I think it's hindering him in terms of his athleticism. The blue-eyed barrel coming next. Here's another one, same suit as the one ahead of him. You like in terms of his openness of skeleton, just not flexible enough in terms of his structure to get him up any higher. Same thing we said for the young lady's black barrel coming next. One that's sure a power type of a hog. Loves him on just dimension and product that one's working. He's just a little too jammed up, too tight in terms of the structure. And then we round out the class with a barrel that's more flexible in terms of the skeleton. One that just doesn't have that overall freshness and just crisp shape about it. Very, very good class. Once again, let's go ahead and congratulate those exhibitors.
The winners of the individual market barrel show class 3. First place was Jackson Naaman of the Jackson Lucky Clovers. Second place was Sam Jansen of the Monroe Colored Clovers. We are now ready for individual market barrel show class 4. They weigh between 284.7 pounds and 320.7 pounds. We do have a few exhibitors that are still making their way up to the arena. Our participants in the individual market barrel show class 4 are Harley Barnett of the East Butler Ramblers, Tommy Barnett of the East Butler Ramblers, Savannah Hummel of the East Butler Ramblers, Jackson Naaman of the Jackson Lucky Clovers, Anna Nichols of the Coldwater Gate Gophers, Ashlyn Rancher of the Jackson Lucky Clovers. She also has another entry, Lily Weddicky of the Butler BBs, and Abby Wilson of the Shell Rock Rockets.
This one okay?
Already done.
Really good heavy class of barrels out here. I think really good trio of barrels out here. I think you can make the argument use any of them to win this particular drive because they all have that piece, or unique things about them. I guess for me, probably just the show barrel of the day is going to be the young man's. One that I love the front two thirds of that barrel. One that really runs up the way, transitions from his blade into his forehead, into that center rib. If we're going to change him, when we get right behind him, I'd like to change him in terms of his hock structure. But I think that he's good enough there to go ahead and use to win the class. For second in class, and the young lady out here to my right, I like this sandy back barrel quite a bit when you study him in just terms of the overall just mass that he has, and in terms of his skull and his foot and bone work. You get on top of him, one that's really big back. Like all them things about it. One downhill, I think it really throws off his balance. The young lady's barrel there that leads for third, probably definitely one that's the most open in terms of the skeleton of the top trio, one that I just like. The way he puts a lot of things together, his freshness, I think if you study him though, he's the tightest in terms of the structure on both ends of the skeleton of that trio. Maybe just not really longer too, and we can just shorten him up. I think that'll help his balance a lot as well. Rib cage, like them things about it. He just doesn't have the overall balance of luggage in the tree. I have to lean him up from a condition standpoint as well. Really good looking tall front end of the barrel. Athleticism, when studying in terms of endurance and foot placement. Here's a barrel though that I think if you study him, just in terms of his overall top shape and rib shape, he kind of falls out of contention in my opinion. The big blue barrel coming in, one that's really big around in terms of his rib design. For me though, he's over condition. For me though, and I'd like to change him. Over condition, I'd like to lean him up and I'd like to change him from a structural standpoint. The big barrel coming next, definitely one that is really good in terms of the angles of the skeleton. I think he's leaner than the barrel ahead of him, but one that I think if you study it, especially down in the stifle, just falls out of contention from a muscle standpoint. Another pair of barrels here at the bottom of the class that are super practical in terms of their skeleton. Really big around in terms of the rib cage. Both of them leaned up in terms of their condition and change from the structural standpoint.
Ty, your boss.
Winning the individual market barrel show class 4, first place went to Jackson Neiman of the Jackson Lucky Clovers. Second place went to Savannah Hummel of the East Butler Ramblers. We will now be choosing those people entering the ring are Sam Jansen, Braden Sear, Jackson Neiman, and Jackson Neiman.
Some of these I didn't get. We're showing it.
Really have barrel show so far this morning. I think as we get our 4-class winners back out here for our drive, I think a tremendous amount of quality throughout is the stadium, leading into the seconds. This black-headed barrel that wins that first class. Here's one that you just really appreciate for his athleticism, just his overall build. When you get right in behind him, I like how open he is in terms of his forerib and center rib shape. Neither the way he ties his neck into the top side of his plate, just clean him up the front ever so slightly. And then he wants to sit down in his front passer ever so slightly. But I think that's being really nitpicky on a really, really nice barrel. Out of the second class, that was a class that was tremendously deep in terms of just show pigs and the quality throughout. The barrel that comes out of that class, probably as stout-skulled as anything out here. I like him in terms of his forearms and just his foot and bone. One that you get on top of him, super fresh, opened up on the backside of his blade. A lot of things I like about that one. We nitpicked him in that class. Maybe one you'd like to change out of his rear leg where you can grab another gear and get out and just flex a notch better there out of his top. Out of that third class, the narrow belted barrel, it came out of a really tough pair within that class. Here's one that you just really appreciate the freshness and the rib design in that one. One that gives you a super good look from the side when they get him out and driving. I love that one's flexibility as well. As we question him in that pair, maybe one you would like to just match up in terms of the foot and bone size in relation to his body mass, but a very, very nice barrel. And then out of that fourth class, as we just talked to him, one that you love the front 2/3 of that barrel. He runs uphill. He's got great shape and freshness. Just one that as we broke him down as well, we'd like to change it in terms of his hock when we get right in behind him. I guess for me, there was a pair of barrels within the show that hit me extremely hard that we're going to go ahead and run with all the way through. Young lady, you'll be champion. I mentioned there in my speech, I thought that class had 2 barrels that were extremely good, that was nitpicking hairs to break them down. Young man, you'll be a reserve champion.
Our champion market barrel received a trophy today, and that goes to Jackson Naaman. His trophy is sponsored by Sinclair Milling. Our reserve champion market barrel also belongs to Jackson Naaman, and that trophy is also sponsored by Sinclair Milling. We are now getting ready to start the individual market gilt show class 1. If those people would start to bring their exhibits up to the arena, individual market gilt show class 1.
Yeah, so Allison showing third class. Yep. Yeah. It was Sam that got reserved.
I think there was a mistake. It was not Jackson Naaman who was reserve champion market barrel. It was Sam Jansen who received reserve champion market barrel.
Was it Sam second in that class? Like it could be a class. Yeah, they looked at it. No, third class. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Third class. Yep. No, just Butler County raised.
Entering the ring for the individual market gilt show class 1 is Tommy Barnett from the East Butler Ramblers, Tommy Jansen from the AP FFA, Brian Junker from the Albion Dance Dozens, Wyatt Junker from the Albion Go Getters, Lily Sterling from the Albion Dandy Dozens, Emma Weddicky from the Jackson Lucky Clovers, Lily Weddicky from the Butler Beauties. Lily Weddicky also has a second entry. Addison Williamson from the Albion Dandy Dozens. The weight range for this class is 203.9 pounds to 243.9 pounds. This is the first call for the individual market guild show class 2. You may start to make your way to the arena. The individual market guild class show, the market guild show class 2. You may start to make your way to the arena.
Really impressive class of lightweight market guilds out here in the ring. You know, one of them deals where when you get into the lightweight guild, you just never know what you're going to get, but this is a really consistent type of a group, and I think the top trio we have out here is really good. I think white belt guild I'm going to use to win the drive. I guess for me, just kind of overwhelms the class. I would guess to get right on top of that one in terms of her top shape, her rib shape, everything fits together so well. And then you get off to the side, she balances up extremely well, really flexible as well on the ground. The show here in second, here's one that I like, her added size and her foot and bone, just her ruggedness and build. I think in comparison to our class winner though, she just isn't near as flexible or athletic off either end of her skeleton, wants to get a little low on her front passers as well. The Calico Gilman comes in third. Here's one that I really like, maybe one of the more flexible gilt within the drive, from a mobility standpoint. But with that, I read her to be a little more breedy in terms of the way she's built. She's not near as rugged in terms of her overall makeup, and you get right on top of her, she just doesn't have that spread and dimension and topside power that the two ahead of her have. That's where the gilt coming next. Here's one you really like, have to appreciate when you get on top of this one, just in terms of the top shape, power that this one possesses from her blade all the way back. As I compare her to the gilt ahead of her, she's a little bit notch drier in terms of her rib, and she's probably a rib too long to balance up extremely well. Really tall fronted gilt coming next. Here's one that you love, her stoutness and ruggedness once again. One that, for me, in comparison to the gilt ahead of her, just isn't free enough off of either end of her skeleton. As we drive that gilt, she just wants to tighten up ever so slightly. The gilt coming next, here's one too. I like this one when you get right up on top of her and study in terms of just the overall power and freshness she has. I like her in terms of her rib design better than the gilt ahead of her. However, when we set this one, get out and drive this one, she just wants to get rounder and tighter on both ends of her skeleton as well. The gilt coming next. The young lady, same can be said about this one as well. One that you like is her boldness and openness and skeleton. One for me that wants to run downhill, get kind of round out of her hip. The white gilt coming next. Here's one. You really appreciate just the look that this one gives it, the overall completeness in a market gilt setting. She's the narrowest in terms of her skeleton and the plainest in terms of her muscle shape. And then we round out the class with another gilt that just wants to run downhill, get a little bit drier in terms of her rib, not near flexible enough off either end of her skeleton.
Winner of our individual market gilt show class 1. First place was Tommy Jansen from AP FFA. Second place was Lily Sterling from the Albion Community Dozens. Right now, our individual market gilt show class 2. Harley Barnett from the East Butler Ramblers. Jackson Hummel from the East Butler Ramblers. Savannah Hummel from the East Butler Ramblers. Hannah Nichols from Coldwater Clayton Dayton Visit Gophers. Ashlyn Ranford from Jackson Lucky Clovers. Abby Schiffer from Albion Dandy Dozens. Brennan Steer from Coldwater Dayton Visit Gophers. Aubrey Williamson from Albion Dandy Dozens. And Abby Wilson from Shell Rock Rockets. The weight range for this class is 246.8 pounds to 299 pounds.
I think I have this one. What?
You have no idea. It has nothing to do with it. Even that juice right there, that juice was the first shoe I wasn't I'll take you I'm back. I'll tell you
He's a big boy.
You don't tell her. Huh?
It's like the dog in the window with the bobblehead. Yeah. And yeah, there's a question.
You know the healthiest part of the bug fire?
No. See, my big
Will the live Derby hog entries please start making their way to the arena? The live Derby hog entries, please make your way to the arena.
Really good class of marching drills out here. The young man Fernando back there, one that we really got to gravitate towards. She just draws your attention right off the bat. Love that one, give her build and her athleticism. One that really study her. Just really back. All this is in my mind, a logical class winner. So that's to take nothing away from the young lady in a second. I like that fair amount in terms of just her overall stoutness from her skull to the floor, down to the ground. really impeccable in the way she does that, and she still maintains it in a really good, flexible type of package. I think when you study her compared to the around the head of her, just not nearly cold in terms of the overall rib shape, maybe just not the overall freshness to her look as she gets out here and goes across the ring. The gilt in third, just a really practical type of one that is kind of a no-hold type of a gilt, but I think as you compare her to the gilt ahead of her, maybe just a notch pointer to her front third, maybe just not opened up quite as much to that center third of her body as well. The big white gilt coming next. Really fresh top type of a gilt. You like that about her. I think as you compare her to the three ahead of her, maybe just doesn't balance up quite as well. A little lower in her neck attachment, maybe a notch longer ribs, and I think that hurts her in terms of her ham-loin junction as well. Gilt coming next, highly presented type of a gilt. This young lady does a great job getting that one driven. I once again like that one in terms of her top shape. I think that one though is the ones ahead of her, not near as flexible. Once again, off either end of her skeleton, need to pull her apart in terms of her rib design. Really flexible gilt, comfortable gilt. Coming next, one that for me though, doesn't quite fit into the market scenario. She's not as fresh in terms of her top shape, or just bolder in terms of the overall feel as the gilt she had above her. Coming to painted up gilt coming next. Great outline, balance, type of a gilt, like that about her. I think you compare her to the ones ahead of her. She's narrower in the road on here, and not only quite as flexible at times to put her in the motion. The gilt coming next, again, the young man brings us a really nice type of a gilt. I like this one from the side quite a bit, but when you get right on top of her, from a market standpoint, she becomes the plainest in terms of her overall muscle shape, the flattest in terms of her rib design, and then the gilt that we round out the class with, another one that's flexible in her own right. She's just a narrow skeleton gilt in the class. We just need to pull her apart and get her up off the bottom. Very, very good class once again. Let's go ahead and congratulate those exhibitors.
Winning our individual market gilt show class 2, Brennan Steer from the Coldwater Gate Music Gophers. Second place went to Ashlyn Ranker from the Jackson Lucky Clovers. We will now be picking a champion market gilt and a reserve champion market gilt. Entering the ring from the first class is Tommy Jansen. Entering the ring from the second class is Brennan. Entering the ring now is Billy Sterling and Ashlyn Ranford. Second call for the live Derby Hogs. Please start to make your way to the arena. Live Derby Hogs. Please make your way to the arena.
Guy, your Derby pigs are all here.
Oh, they're all here? Yeah, sure, they're all here.
I just like me and myself.
Well, I was just waiting for you to say something. And the kids are all standing there looking at you like, well, we're here. What's wrong?
Usually I do a first and a second.
Market gilt, only 2 classes, the quality is exceptional from top to bottom. Looking at these 2 players, the gilt out of the first class She won that class and did so pretty handily. Just one that's ultra fault free. Love that one in terms of just her athleticism. I think a gilt that when you get right up on top of her, you really have to appreciate just the slowness to her rib design, just the boldness there. Love that about her. They've got the right amount of fill in her. Get off to the side, like I said, one that balances up, really proportionate in terms of her design. The gilt that was second in that class, as we mentioned, one that's just really rugged in terms of her feature. I like her in terms of her top shape. As we get her back out in the in the drive and the scheme of things, maybe not quite as flexible as the other ones in terms of just her overall skeletal or structural integrity, but a very, very good gilt in her own right. Out of that second class, the white-legged gilt, here's one that's really impressive from the side in terms of her design. I like that one in terms of the angles of her skeleton, one that really opens up with a tremendous amount of this product. Going a huge blast and get right behind her. She doesn't have the fluff on her in terms of her upper rib shape today, but I think one that's more than good enough there. Just a really, really good individual. And then the second place on that class, as we talked her, I think a really good one in her own right. I like a lot of things about that one in terms of her stoutness and her added foot and bone. One that balances up extremely well. As we mentioned in that class, maybe not quite as fresh as the gilt that wings are dry, maybe just not quite as bold in terms of the upper curvature to her rib. Outstanding, outstanding drive. I'll go out and shake the hands of our grand and reserve within this division.
Our champion market gilt winner is Brennan Steer. He receives a trophy that is sponsored by Plainfield Veterinary Services. Our third champion market gilt today is Tommy Jansen. He is receiving a trophy, and that is also sponsored by Plainfield Veterinary Services. Please give our winners a round of applause. Entering the ring now is our live Derby Hog division. In this class, we have Kaylee Harkin of the Monroe Cutter Clovers, Briley Junker of the Albion Dandy Dozen, Wyatt Junker of the Albion Go-Getters. Wyatt Junker also has his second entry, and Abby Shipper of the Albion Dandy Dozen. We will be taking a champion derby and a reserve champion derby.
Yeah, okay. I know. Yeah. Okay. Here, I can give that to you.
You got any more in here or not?
So that's the order.
How's it doing, Brent?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Okay.
But that might have been from earlier. The picture even looks better, doesn't it? It's like great renown and great renown. COVID and divorce right now, so it's easily able to get restrictions. So it's kind of not here yet, which means
Small derby show, but I think a really good one, and I think we got a pair of really good barrels here at the top of this drive. I think the one for me that just is the combination of one that looks like a great production type of a hog, and yet still has some show appeal, one that's just massive in terms of the top side. The young lady out in the middle will be your champion within this drive. For reserve, I think the one that maybe is a little different suit, maybe just a notch taller fronted, one that just a little bit bigger outline type of a hog, still really flexible in terms of its skeleton, one that I think just has a lot of good pieces about it. The young lady with the narrow velvet barrel coming towards me will be reserved. For third, I'm going to go with the other black painted up barrel, the high production barrel within the class. I think you can get that, just one that's not open in terms of its rib design. For me, just not as well balanced or as good structured as the two ahead of it, but a very, very nice project the young lady brought it. I think as it gets closer between the two white barrels out here, as to which one you prefer. I'm going to use the young man's mass barrel on the far side. For fourth, I think just one that you like, just in terms of the top shape, a barrel that's a little bit lower performing. I think that can be attributed just to being a little bit tighter in terms of the structure. One that's a little not small in terms of the frame. And then we're going to round out the class with the blue barrel. Really like that one in terms of the top side power that he's got. He's added foot and bone. One that gets just a little harder in terms of his rib design. Maybe not quite as flexible as even the barrel that succeeded in the class. Once again, let's go ahead and congratulate our derby exhibitor.
yeah.
Our champion derby hog belongs to Kaylee Harkin of the Monroe Feather Clovers. She is receiving a trophy sponsored by Orly's Meat Market and Locker. Our second place, or our reserve champion derby, is Abby Shipper. She also is receiving a trophy sponsored by Orly's Meat Locker.
Right. And give you time flat this year.
We are now going to have participants entering the ring that are going for the overall grand champion hog and the overall reserve champion grand champion hog.
You should have your market barrel, your market deal, and your derby. No, that's commercial deal. All the market. So your purebred market is right there.
Entering the ring for this competition is Jackson Neiman. Jackson Neiman with his champion market barrel. Brennan Steer with his champion market gilt. And Kaylee Harkin with our champion derby.
We forgot the champion purebred, we did the barrel. We need to know that. But we need to know that.
Yeah, I gave her right here.
Is
I talk to everybody when you wait until everyone gets here. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So
Will the Butler County raise entries please come to the Arena Hall? The Butler County raise entries for the championship drive. The Butler County raise entries. Those of you who have talked with Ty, you need to come up with the Butler County raise entries. Those of you who have spoken to Ty Ruby, you need to come to the arena for the Butler County raise.
It's truly been a really fun show to sort through. I think as we did our division winners out here, the quality has just been absolutely phenomenal. Really fun to sort through. I felt like we kind of moved through them fast, but I thought they just broke down, sorted themselves so easily throughout the day for the most part. You know, and as we get back out here, I just want to really congratulate these exhibitors on winning their divisions and just doing such a great job as far as the presentation and the showmanship that they have. Very, very good, and it makes it enjoyable to work through. If we get into the hogs, you know, we started today there with the purebred division. I think if we just really break down and analyze that Duroc barrel, he is extremely good. He's an extremely good red hog. Just his extension, his proportions, his balance, his flexibility and structure is impeccable. I like a lot of things about that. The only question I have today is in a market show, is he big enough? In terms of his weight, but I think from a quality standpoint, he is definitely in the mix. From there, we went into the barrel drive. As we talked that, there was a pair of barrels in there that came through. You just really gotta appreciate this barrel. It comes out when you hit you extremely hard. To have that much mass in this hour, as you get right up on top of it and still handle it so good from a structural standpoint. Very, very individual to win that division. The gilt that came out of the gilt division, once again, an extremely high quality individual that's got that added extension pieces that you're looking for. You know, I just really enjoy analyzing that gilt for the things that she possesses and the way she handles it from a skeletal standpoint. You know, maybe if you're going to nitpick her in comparison to, you know, what we've seen, you know, I'm not sure that one is quite full of cost today, though that's not taking anything away from her, because I think that one is extremely good, and she's definitely in the mix out here today. And then out of our last division, the Derby division, as you break that one down, I think that one won that division, did so pretty handily. To make a barrel that cracked open in his skeleton, that gets big in terms of his backside, really good and square in terms of his rib design, and still handles it extremely well from a structural standpoint. I think it is really unique. Once again, let's go out and congratulate these exhibitors, and then take one last look, and we'll get you the champion, and then we'll bring out the reserve on that division and get you the reserve as well. As we drop our reserve barrel in, you knows we talked about parallel there. Picking hairs, the differences. It just came down to basically a style preference, personal opinion today. I think either one could have went either way. I'm going to keep that pair together. That'll be a reserve.
Our overall grand champion hog today is with Jackson and Market Barrel. Butler County Farm Bureau. Our overall reserve champion hog today comes from Sam Jansen. He was second in the Market Barrel. He was
champion hog.
the reserve
And his banner
and he is the reserve. Banner is sponsored by Butler County 4-H. We are now picking our champion Butler County race.
Not that cheap. It will start there. Jeremy, go the other way.
In the ring for our Butler County race is Emma Wetke from the Jackson Rovers, Aubrey Williamson
with another entry from the Albion Dandy Dozens. Aubrey Williamson with a third entry from the Albion Dandy Dozens. Savannah
entry from the Albion Dandy Dozens, Savannah Hummel from the East Butler Rangers, Tommy Barnett from the East Butler Rangers, and Ashlyn Ranford from the Jackson Rovers.
Take all day here on Butler County home race division. Great to see so many high quality hogs come out of the county from producers within the county. Great show. I think they're all competitive throughout the day, which is fun to see within their individual classes. I think there's a couple that can be mentioned that are in contention out here today. I think you can definitely make a case for either of the Sandy Bears to be at the top end. Both can be incredibly unique in their build. I think the little calico gilt or the cheetah gilt is extremely cool in terms of the build and skeleton. But I think the one that kind of runs away with the show is acting up a little bit today. And this lady's velvet gilt here in front of me that was second in that heavyweight class for the East Champion home race.
Champion Butler County race was Ashlyn Ranford. She is receiving a trophy sponsored by the Butler County Pork Producers. a member of the Jackson Lucky Clovers.
What are you doing next? Yes.
Now will the Market Hogs of 3 make their way to the arena? The Market Hogs in of 3 make their way to the arena.
Yeah, should we separate from that? Oh, and then Allison got up and he'll go back down. And then AJ. So 4 pick AJ, 1 pick boy. If I wait. He raises the ton. Then he raises the ton. You might have to add a yeah, I got it. We had a girl on front. So last year the team made
We got pen of 3.
Right, yeah. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
So, yeah.
So,